Hi, everybody. Welcome to the midsummer edition of our meeting recaps for the Special School District of St. Louis Parent Advisory Council. In this quick 10 to 15 minute video, we are going to talk about what we wrapped up at the end of May, how we left the school year, and then set up next school year. I can't believe it's already time to start thinking about that, but it is. So our last meeting was May 8th, which seems like forever ago by now. But we voted in a couple of new members, which is fantastic. For those of you who have been following along, you know that we have been doing a major membership push all of last year, and that will continue into next year. We're starting to finally see some fruits of our efforts, and that's really exciting. We also held our executive committee elections. I was reelected as the president for the 2019-2020 school year. Ashley Harrison Lawson is moving from recording secretary to vice president. Jessica Thielman is continuing on as our corresponding secretary. So if you send us an email to our PAC email address, you will be hearing from her. And then Terry McCubry is going to be our recording secretary for next year. That does leave us an open spot for parliamentarian. However, we are excited to be adding a membership chair to the executive committee. So we are going to be working with one of our new members, Adam, to set up a focused membership committee to really work on executing some of the membership drive activities that we started last year and want to continue on through the coming year. So those were the two, I guess, big member activities that happened in May. Then we had our superintendent report. It was our last one with Dr. Bohannon, and he told us about the governing council orientation meeting, which we had on June 3rd. I spoke at that along with Dr. Bohannon. It was a really great opportunity to speak to the new governing council members and their alternates. We participated in a dinner that was held beforehand, so got a chance to speak with some of our representatives on both the SSD Board of Education as well as the governing council members, so that was really good. We'll probably be doing it again in June next year, so if you've thought about coming out and getting a free dinner and meeting some of the people who are representing you, your child, and your school district, this is a great opportunity to get some face time and casually ask some questions if you have some questions or concerns. We had started a parent-para committee that was meeting about the communication between parents and paras. So those meetings did start to happen late in May, and we're supposed to be wrapping up in June. We will have an update for all of the Parent Advisory Council members, hopefully in August, if not in August, in September. The partnership agreement that I participated on the committee working on revising the partnership agreement, the revised partnership agreement was sent out to all committee members for review at the end of May, early June, and that then will be in the hands of our new superintendent, Dr. Keenan, for her to take a look at and take action on in August and September going forward into the next school year. We also talked about the fact that we now have another really great tool at our disposal, which is the data dashboard. And this tool gives you some detailed information about the families and the children in your particular school district who receive services. So you'll be able to break it down by school. There's a view where you can see by grade level, where you can see by diagnosis, so that it gives you some really good information and just a good feeling for, okay, I've got 10 people showing up at my local district parent advisory council meetings. Am I hitting, what percentage of the families and of the kids am I hitting with that? Gives you just an idea of the magnitude of what's going on in your district and gives you some good talking points when you are working with your particular school district and the administration, it's just good ammunition and information to have in our back pockets. So I will be distributing a link to all voted in members of the Parent Advisory Council. So if you want to get your hands on that information, you need to join and be a member. We also spent a lot of time in just suggestions and getting some public commentary on the PAC so that we can take those into consideration and implement them moving forward. So a couple of suggestions that we're looking at is providing some sort of interpretation services for our PAC meetings, be that for the hard of hearing or the hearing impaired, or getting it into different languages. If you don't know and you're watching this video, you can click on the subtitles. It's one of the buttons on your YouTube viewer, and you can pick the subtitles that you want. I always specify the language as English, and so that gives some closed captioning options for you. So if you would like to turn those on, all you have to do is click the little button that says CC in it, and you can pick your language of choice if you're struggling to keep up with me speaking very quickly in English. So that is available if you watch our videos, but we're going to look into some options for our monthly meetings that we hold. We've also talked about maybe adding like an email sequence that would be more like training focused. The suggestion was to add more social events, or at least add social time to chit chat into every other meeting that we have, to create an SSD PAC flyer for the next school year, to put our quorum numbers in the newsletter. As you know, there were 2 separate meetings last year where we did not meet quorum, which means that 6 or fewer different districts were represented at our meeting. So we could not hold an official meeting because our representation was too low across the county. We had multiple members from a couple of the districts, but we were just looking at districts that were represented, not members who attended. So we're going to be looking at putting the quorum numbers in there so that everybody understands the impact of not coming and how many people we're trying to get to come to each meeting. Let's see what else. The suggestion was to put a button to like add this meeting to your calendar type of option into our newsletter. I'm going to look and see if I can figure out how to do that. And then also to maybe set up a Facebook page with an events so that you can say that, yes, you're interested, yes, you're going, those types of things. We've bounced around a couple of different years on the idea of having a Facebook page. We're going to take another hard look at it and see if we can use it as an information only tool and not something that we're going to open up to any sort of really community commentary on there. We want to push any community commentary into our meetings or to the Let's Talk functionality through SSD. Our concern is that we would have somebody putting a very specific concern on our Facebook page, which we don't have the staff to monitor. So we'll see about doing that. Okay, on to the next school year. Our next meeting is August 14th. We are hoping to have a kind of meet and greet session with Dr. Elizabeth Keenan, who is the new SSD superintendent. She took over on July 1st, officially, was her start date. I met her at the Governing Council orientation in June. She seems very nice, very passionate and dedicated, and I am excited to work with her over the course of the rest of my tenure. So we're going to ask her to give a little presentation so that we can get to know her a little bit better in August. I have my first meeting with her as a PAC representative later this month in July. So I will let you know exactly what the August agenda is when I send out our August newsletter. We're also going to have a kickoff like brainstorming session, much like we did last August, so that I can get input from you guys, from the members, as to what the concerns are over the course of next year that we want to address. I think that worked really well, making sure that each month we focused on one of the areas of concern that you gave to me at the beginning of last year. So we will continue that into this year. One community event that I'd like to tell you about is the Thompson Center for Autism and Neurodevelopmental Disorders, which is part of the University of Missouri system. They are hosting an Autism Parent Day in Chesterfield. It's going to be on Wednesday, September 25th from 10 to 4 p.m. There is a full day's worth of programming, and there are 3 registration options. There's a $40 ticket, a $20 ticket, and then a free option. The 2 that you pay money for, you also includes lunch and some obviously additional training that the free option doesn't provide. But I am going to make sure that I put the link to this event in the show notes so that you can get it. So click on the more details under the title of this YouTube video, and then scroll down through the notes where I always put all the links and anything else that I talk about. The link is just too long to put into the into like a header here when I edit the video. So again, that is on Wednesday, September 25th. It's going to be in Chesterfield from 10 a.m. to 4 p.m. And it seems like there's going to be some good training for those of us who have children who are on the spectrum. So the 2 dates that you need to remember going forward are August 14th is our next meeting, 7 p.m. at SSD Central Office. And then this Autism Parent Day that's hosted again by the University of Missouri's Thompson Center for Autism and Neurodevelopmental Disorders. And again, all the information on all of this will be in the show notes. So click on the more details or see more button below the title of this video, and you'll be able to get all of that. And then also make sure that you're signed up for our News You Can Use monthly newsletter, where all of this and more information is sent out monthly. And as always, we hope to see you at a meeting and that you will join our merry band, and that we're going to have just a fantastic school year. I can't believe it's already time to start thinking about it, but as always, I think both the kids and the parents will be ready for school to start when that time comes around. So I hope everybody has had a wonderful first half of the summer, had a happy and safe 4th of July, and I will be back next month for a quick reminder video. Until then, thanks.